There you go. Nice blast of Dominican smoke to set the tone for our engagement this evening. Welcome back to Two Hands in the Face Audio, where our mission is to scrape up interesting information about interesting gear and relay it to you, the interested consumer. Assuming you're there. I certainly hope so. Anyway, on this occasion, we're having a good hard look at the Pigtronix Constellator. 3 times fast I will not attempt, but a second time, the Pigtronix Constellator. Pigtronix is the company name. Constellator is the model of the device we're looking at. And as it happens, this device is a nice warm analog delay. And it really is a true analog device. You'll know when you hear it. When we say analog and we're talking about delay, not only are we talking about the purity of the signal path, using only discrete components like transistors and diodes and so on and so forth, but we're talking about the sound quality. It is a very, very warm, not particularly articulate quality of sound in the repeats of the note that you strike, and that's what a lot of people have come to love, me especially. Digital delays certainly have their place in the industry, but the analog delay, to my mind and my ears, gives more of a 3-dimensional quality. So let's demonstrate what we're talking about. Here's my basic tone on my beloved Strat. Let's engage the Pigtronix at nominal settings. You can hear the trail of echo is degrading more with each signal hit. So we get a sound that lends itself to 3-dimensionality. It's a very ethereal sound. It's a beautiful sound. It's a haunting sound. And I will demonstrate it a little bit more. And of course, with the analog delay, there's a plenitude of tonal options that you can avail yourself of. You can speed up the time of the repeats, and you can limit the number of repeats and get yourself almost a slapback reverb kind of a tone. You can engage a little bit more depth on the sound with the limited repeats. And give yourself kind of a rockabilly reverb kind of sound if you're into that. And of course, if you want to go more the Pink Floyd route, you can level out the mix. You can slow the repeats down a skosh and put a nice long trail on it and get yourself a nice long trail of repeats. There's any number of combinations you can set for yourself. You can exaggerate the gain level of the repeats relative to the initiating note. Do a great many things with it. Or you can make it subtle. You can lower the mix a little bit, lower the speed a little bit, lower the length of the trail a little bit, and you can have yourself a beautiful cushion that you can leave on all night for a gig. never fights with the notes you're playing, gives you a nice three-dimensional back window on everything you're delivering without fighting with it. So it's a beautiful sound. It's a great, very adjustable analog delay. But the other thing about this amazing little pedal with the funny name, and that's what we're going to call it, man, the amazing little pedal with the funny name, Pigtronix. Why are they Pigtronix? Who the hell knows? I looked online, couldn't find squat, gave up after about 45 seconds. But it is amusing and it is memorable. So the Pigtronix is a splendid sounding analog delay with all the warmth you could ever want, all the depth. If you want to lengthen the trail and get the feedback loop going, you can certainly do that. But the other beautiful feature of this device is that it offers a modulation function. And not only does it offer a modulation function, but it is twofold. When you push the button called Feel in, you're getting a chorus sound. And the pilot lamp turns blue. When you leave the Feel button out, the pilot lamp turns red, and you're getting basically a vibrato or a pitch modulation sound. And it has a intensity control on the front of the housing, so it's easy to get to. And I'm going to dial it in on the vibrato sound and let you hear it. Here's the dry sound with analog delay. I'm going to dial in the vibrato modulation, or what you might call pitch modulation. You can hear that light waver. It makes everything a little bit more three-dimensional, really, really pretty. I'm going to dial up the intensity a bit more on the vibrato modulation option. You can hear it. You can make it really deep if you want to hear it that deeply. It'll certainly get there with you. This is the vibrato modulation option, so to speak. Let's push in the button they call Feel and engage the modulation feature that is a full-on chorus. And this thing is beautiful. Here's the device without it. And here we are with it. You can dial up the intensity for a greater range of sound. You can dial up the intensity on the modulation circuitry and then use your mix level to level it back out again so you can have a more subtle sound. And again, without it, with it. So, a lot of options here, and I might add that these options serve your distorted tone equally well. And we've got the chorus function engaged here. Beautiful sounding chorus that supports what you're doing. The vibrato function is equally pretty when you get it into the mix. Beautiful sounds coming out of this thing. See, that's a nice subtle chorus sound that I could leave on all evening. Or the vibrato sound, both beautiful options. That's a lot of features to be packed into a true mini-sized housing. The housing, by the way, now that I'm on the subject, is an absolute tank. It's built like a rock. It's an aluminum housing you could pretty much stand on without fear of damaging this device. So, my recommendation is, other than a good Dominican cigar and a couple of good shots of bourbon whiskey, from Kentucky, because nobody else really makes bourbon. Anyway, that's another subject for another time. Try one of these Pigtronix Constellator pedals. In fact, the Pigtronix company is only about 20 years old, but they've got a hell of a reputation, and they've got some really beautiful offerings and other types of pedals that create other types of effects. This is my newest acquisition and one of my favorite pedals ever. So get out to your Pigtronix dealer, whatever or whoever that purports to be, and get yourself an analog delay with a vibrato modulation option and a chorus modulation option. This is the pedal you want. It'll serve you all night long. Thank you for joining us this evening. If you liked what you saw and heard, subscribe. Join us on a regular basis. We've got a lot more information coming your way. If you didn't enjoy it that much, I understand, but please hit subscribe 25 times and tell 1,000 people. Until next time, my friends, thank you so much.